Ladies and gentlemen, and happy Shalom, happy Sabbat and Passover Peshka to my Hebrew brothers in Israel. They're celebrating that now. And the New World Passover is what they celebrate, the coming back to their motherland. So they're in that celebration now, so you'd like to join them. Probably not going to be online watching. Maybe they might. Never know. But if they are. I was trying to remember the exact expression. And it'll come to me eventually. But, ladies and gentlemen, I'm here to talk to you today about communism versus capitalism. I forgot the Chinese president's name. Chai Pi-ching, I think his name is something like that. And the Donald. This struggle for the control of trade for the next century. We're in the midst of a massive world trade war, which I'm going to let you know is going to turn out fantastic for us. It's going to turn out fantastic. It will. It's actually going to make the world much better. Because what's going to happen is there's going to be ultimately a very clear understanding of the difference between capitalism and communism. And let me tell you, a lot of countries are going to get a lot more communist, a lot more socialistic in their plans, because when countries are at war with each other in trade, you have to keep your domestic. What's the word I want to use? The mindset of in your own particular nation. You got to keep everybody happy. Got to lower the prices of gas, which I'm actually seeing right now. You've got to make sure people can eat. You've got to make sure unemployment is at an all-time low. You've got to do government financial easing, because you're fighting with another nation and you want your nation to say, hey, what we're doing is right. So you got to make everything comfortable while you're actually out there causing economic, financial hell. But let's talk about it. So China, as a communist nation, is built for a trade war with capitalists specifically, because China can hold out. I believe America has over or underestimated the value of American exports to China. I also believe that this is more of a problem for American multinational corporations than it is for actually Chinese corporations. That's what I think. I think what's going to happen, what you're going to see in China, they're going to have not much blips to this situation. They make everything. They produce everything. And they have been allowed to do so because there's a mutually beneficial relationship between the capitalist and the communist that we just don't realize. The capitalist says, I want to make as much money as I can. The communist says, we have no problem with you making as much money as you can, because we pay our people next to nothing. We don't have to worry about labor at all. Labor's not our issue. Our people take what we give them, and they live according to the standard that we have set for them. So what you charge is irrelevant. Just go right ahead. And when you invent something and you bring it to us to create, mass produce this incredible invention, you have to show us the blueprint of what you did. And guess what we're going to do? We're going to copy it. And we're going to make it for ourselves. And we're going to give it to our people at cost. Because we're communists. And we also realize that there's some core earth minerals that you actually need to make your products. So if you act up, we're not going to sell them to you anymore. We're just going to keep making your stuff. And we're going to give it away to the whole world without putting your name on it. Imagine Apple phones called banana phones and sent everywhere. Same technology. Cheap. Same everything. Cheap. $100 Apple phones. People saying, what? You can buy an Apple phone in Africa for $100? Yep. Same phone. It's called a banana phone. No disrespect to my African. You can look at this scenario and say this is probably not a good idea for the capitalists. The capitalist needs China. Yeah, you do. And we've had this conversation before. This mindset that you're just going to move all of these Chinese factories, hundreds of thousands of Chinese factories, and you're going to move all this technology back to America for the American worker to do. It ain't going to happen. Capitalism is dead. And I love it. Trump has tried to literally stand up and say, I'm going to bring back capitalism. Capitalism is a foregone conclusion, and China has made it so. Sometimes you got to realize that you're on the bad guy side. Are you saying the Chinese people are? You want to have a life like China? Let me tell you something. Let me speak to the working poor in America. Knowing, you could be in a shelter, you could be homeless, you're one paycheck away from being on the street. You don't worry about that in China. You don't gotta worry about that. You don't gotta worry about that. You're getting all of your needs taken care of. You're going to the dentist, right? You're going to the eye doctor. If you have an issue with your heart, you get the best heart surgeon. You get everything you need. Nothing is too expensive for you. You get the best education in the world. In the world. You have the best education in the world. You have sports, sporting events, sports teams. If you're elites in one thing, you're developed. Your life is golden. And then you want to go play in the NBA? Go ahead, go play in the NBA. Come on back. Remember, you got your whole family over here. Yao Ming, go play, go be great. Come on back. Listen, China's not Cuba. Okay. China's not Cuba. China, honestly, ain't so bad. You got guys running over there, finishing their MBA career, going to China, going to live in China, hanging out in China, doing things in China. What does China not have? Tell me what they don't have. You want to be in the army? China. You want to be a boxer? China. Basketball? China. What does China not have that makes a working class Chinese person, okay, have less than a working class American? Oh, well, they can't go on vacations and travel the world. Poor folk can't do that neither. Where the hell are they going? Where are they going? Hey, where are they really going? Okay? No, man, capitalism is dead. I'm here to tell you, it's dead. It's dead in the water. It's dead in the water. In order for capitalism to work, let me tell you the secret of capitalism. And this is what they realize. They're like, doggone it. In order for capitalism to work, you require, watch this, 90% of your population to be upper middle class. Because capitalism doesn't work when most of your people are working poor. So for example, you're paying everybody in the country, like China, you're paying everybody in the country $30,000 a year. Everybody's making about 30 grand. That's about their lifestyle. And then you want to say, oh, wow, we're making Lamborghinis. We're making, S-classes. Who wants one? I can't afford a damn S-class. I can't drive a Lamborghini. Can't afford that. Oh yeah, I guess we can't sell it to you. Yeah. Are you going to sell it to me for 10 grand? No, we can't sell it to you for that. So what is the sense in making all of these fancy goods and I'm poor? You can't even sell it to me. You're right. We got to make sure some of y'all actually are making money. Yes, you do. Hey, that sucks for the capitalist. You mean I got to actually pay you halfway decent so you can actually buy the goods that I'm making? Yeah, you actually do. You got to give me more money in order that I can buy the stuff you're making. Well, that doesn't work. Maybe we can sell it to other people when you guys can be the broke people and we can sell it to other people. Oh shoot, that's communism. Capitalism only works in an infrastructure of reciprocity, where you have individuals in the culture, in the ecosphere of the capitalist, who can buy it, consume it, waste it, destroy it, and then come back and buy it again. And you have to have enough of them that the people just keep buying it. You have to have one of two things. You either got to make crappy products that I basically buy, they break down, I throw them away, and I come right back again. Or you've got to have enough people that consistently can buy. You got to be producing upper middle class people all the time, because you got to produce individuals that can buy the stuff that you have. And so the goal of a capitalist economy is to make sure everyone's wealthy. But if everyone's wealthy, guess what? Nobody wants to do menial jobs. So what do you got to do? You got to import your menial job people. Your Mexicans, your Indians, your Syrians in some places, your Africans. You got to import all of these people who come from lower means, and then you put them in the hamster wheel and you say, hey, you guys start making the stuff so that the upper middle class guys can buy. And then they're saying, wait a minute, I don't want to stay here. And you realize, okay, I got to promote them too, because if I bring them in, I got to add them to the ecosphere, and they've got to be part of the wheel of being able to buy. And then I got to bring in more people to replace them when they move up the ladder. And so it becomes a continuous scenario where you're adding people at the bottom to push them up to the top, right? So that they can continue your capitalistic machine. That's what capitalism is. That's capitalism. And the 3% or 2% at the top, or the 1% at the top, they're making billions. But they have to make sure that the people who are below them, who are buying the products, make enough money to buy their products. That's it. It's capitalism. It's a very finely integrated machine. So I'll give you an example. Trump trashes and crashes the world economy. Trillions of dollars are being pulled out of the market, right? Being secured, but ripped out of the market. People's 401ks are plummeting to the ground. Major unions, hedge fund companies, like they're just saying, oh, pulling this money out of here, and stocks just plummeted to the ground. And he said, oh no, what did I do, right? And all of the smart guys came and sat down with him and said, hey, do you want us to help you fix this or not? Because you're messing up badly here. You're screwing up your wealth. You're killing stuff right now. Let me show you what to do. What you need to do is you need to just tell people, I'm going to step back on some of these tariffs. Once you do that, what we're going to do is we're going to take our money that we pulled out and we're going to invest it back in, buy all these same stocks that we sold at cheaper money, because we don't care. We're buying them cheaper now, right? And we're going to make billions of dollars. You're going to look good. We're going to look good. Really, that's going to work? That's going to work. And that's what he did. He put out an announcement because all the stock market is consumer confidence. It's all it's based on. It's all it's based on. It's based on whispers and innuendo. And so once he put out there that, listen, I'm going to chill on these tariffs for a while, all these hedge fund companies that met with him, all these big financial gurus that met with him, thrust their money back into the economy, back into the stock market, bought up all these stocks that had fallen, bought them back up at cheaper, right? Got out at one price, got back in at a lower price, and then said, oh, look, he made 2 billion, he made 2 billion, he made 2 billion. Yeah, a pump and dump, baby. That's what they did, or a dump and pump, whatever you want to call it. That's what they did. Because all capitalism is what they do in New York City, it's a shell game. That scenario is not a long-term plan. It's not a long-term plan. It cannot be a long-term plan. Because the capitalist gets greedier and greedier and greedier and greedier and greedier and greedier and greedier. Because if he's sitting in America and he says, well, it's really hard making sure that all of these guys got money. Like, it's really hard selling to them. Is there any other countries that people are already rich we can sell there? Yeah, go to Germany. They can sell those stuff in Germany. You can sell that stuff. Sell it in Japan. Sell it somewhere else. And they're always looking for better economies where people have more money to focus there, because they're tired of having to pay you to make you richer, to make you wealthier in order to buy their goods. Because a capitalist is a capitalist. He's a greedy, greedy, greedy individual. It's capitalism. And capitalism doesn't work. But the fact is, people don't want to give up their castles, their power. They don't want to give that up, right? And I don't blame them, because I don't trust most of y'all. I wouldn't trust y'all. If I got all the power, I ain't gonna give y'all any power either. I'd be like, no, I'm kind of comfortable in my power. People are dumb. I can't give them power. That's what they think. They don't want to give you guys any power. They don't want to give you guys any capacity to govern and to run anything. There's too many crazy ideas running around right now. So that's where the world is. The world is sitting in a place where people with a few ideas control the people with a whole lot of ideas, because they don't trust your ideas. But the Chinese are sitting around saying, our idea is better than your idea. Our idea is easier to maintain. Our idea, we've got 1 billion people behind our idea. We've got you invested in our idea. That's right. We create all your ideas. We're the creators of your ideas. And so we have a deadlock, an absolute deadlock. And the Chinese are saying, we can last much longer than you, because we don't just make your products. We're making everybody's products. And since you've made an enemy of everyone, you've made an enemy of Europe, we're going to lower their price. We're going to let them buy more. We're going to create more. We're going to give them better incentives. We're going to starve you out, actually. And remember, we have all of your ideas. So, Apple, I know you didn't create this problem, but we need to have the same level of production we've had. And we don't care. And if we can't get it from you, we'll do it ourselves. We will steal your stuff. That, my dear, is the power of communism. It is a very powerful tool. And you cannot tell me that it's not in a position to win in a trade war. You can't tell me that. You cannot tell me that. Well, the Chinese really depend on America for food. The Chinese can get all the food they need from Africa. And they've got a great relationship with Africa. They do not need America to eat. They can go right to the continent who they've been having great relationships with. And they don't need any doggone thing from America. What do they need from America? It's only food exports they get from America. They don't need any of that. They can go right to Africa and get it. Africa will let them farm it themselves. Say, yeah, you go in there and do that yourself. Go ahead. What do you want to grow? Grow anything you want. Grow anything you want. Okay? If you want to create rooster hippopotamuses, go right ahead. Because sometimes when you eat that Chinese food, you don't know what the heck you're eating. It could be a rooster hippopotamus. You don't know what the heck they're eating. So I'm trying to let you know, Brother Del, I got the plug on the cheap iPhones. Talk to me, baby. Talk to me. $100 iPhones. Man, I saw these Chinese guys make an electric car. That doggone car could fly. It could float. It could do all kind of stuff, that electric car. It looked like a Rolls Royce, and it was the price of a Honda. Everything. The doggone car could do every doggone thing. Could talk to you. Could pick you up. Hey, listen to me. I ain't playing with them. I ain't playing. If I'm going to bet my money on something, I'm going to bet it on the doggone Chinese. I ain't betting it on America. Think about it. China and Russia got the same dude running the show. He knows where all the bodies are buried. He's got it all organized, all set up. He's sitting back like this, governing on an easy chair situation. America, every 4 years, they got to have a fight to see who wants to run the place for 4 more years. It's an unorganized situation. And this guy comes in and screws up what the last guy put in place. You got all these deals organized, everything, and you're like, yeah, we about to do some deals with America. Oh, it's an election year. Ah, crap. So you got to do all your deals in like the first 18 months just to get something to happen. It's a bad play, baby. Y'all got a bad play. Even in Canada, we got a prime minister sitting around there. 10 years he's sitting around. 10 years running the place. No term limits. Term limits are bad for government. That's why Trump's going to get that changed on you. You can't have term limits because there's no progress. You need 10 years. You need a guy to be in there 10 years to actually get stuff done. If you wanted to build more manufacturing plants in America, you need 10 years. You got to see that whole process through. You can't have a guy come in there and halfway through and say, we're not building no more factories. Send it all back to China. Wait a minute. We've got all this lumber and all this aluminum, and we bought the land and we licensed it. That's under the last administration. We don't agree with it. Trash it all. Wow. It's crazy. Doesn't work. Capitalism doesn't work. It only works when you got a whole bunch of slaves and a whole bunch of conquerors. Then it works. But you don't have that anymore. That's why communism wins, because they got a whole bunch of non-slaves, cheap workers. Slaves. They got a whole bunch of cheap workers and a whole bunch of technology and a whole bunch of people saying, make us stuff. This is easy. This is very easy. Communist wins, baby. It's communism for the win. And the communists are going to do one more thing on y'all and mess you guys up. See that the Chinese yen? They've been making that thing cheap. That's going to stop. Everybody subordinating their currency for America, it's going to stop. You know why they were doing it? Because Americans are consumers. They buy more than they need. Every one of y'all has 25 pairs of shoes. There's not an American out there don't have less than 10 pair of shoes. Nobody, I don't care how poor you are. You got 10 pair of shoes. You got 5, 6 jackets and coats and you got too much underwear. You got too much socks. You want everything you see you want. People are like, listen, all you got to do is show it to an American. Make it shiny, make it different. They're going to buy it. Really? They're going to buy it. Anything you put in front of them. I want that. Mommy, can I have that? They're going to buy it. They're going to buy it for their kids. They're going to buy it for their grandma. They just buy stuff. Unlimited. They buy and give them credit. What's credit? Give them the capacity to buy more than they have money for, because they'll just keep working to pay for stuff they've already bought and it's not even working anymore, but they're still paying for it. Really? Yes, they will do that. Capitalism doesn't work. Communism and this whole concept of consumer-based trade is based on the greed of America. And when y'all realize that you don't need 15 pair of Nikes and 17 pair of Pumas, when you realize, you don't need, 7 different sets of dishes for different occasions, when you realize that all your consumerisms have cost you effectively your wealthy future, maybe you'll stop. But I think you're too greedy. I think the West is too greedy to stop. Our appetite is too big. Come on. I live in the 4th largest city in North America. When I'm hungry, what do I want to eat today? And I have all the choices. I go onto my Uber Eats and I have choices. We're addicted to our choices. The poorest black women in America have the most expensive hair in America. Okay, expensive hair. That hair. My daughters now, the little ones, they want expensive hair. I'm like, how much to do your hair? Are you crazy? And their mother's saying, that's what it costs to do this little girl's hair. You can't just, do a little. No, it costs $200, $150, $170 to do, and you got to buy the hair. And then guess what? In 3 weeks, she pulls it all out. Oh my gosh! I paid a king's ransom for all that horse hair. And now you're pulling it all out of your doggone head and saying, "Do it again." No, we're not doing that again. You better get a fade or something. I'm gonna fix you up in the garage. We're consumers. Buy a car? No, I won't put rims on the car. I won't put a stereo system in the car. I want to tint the car's windows. I want to make the car sound louder. It's incredible. That's who we are. And so capitalism, it's dead. And you put it in a trade war, it's dead in the water, baby. It's dead in the water. What they have to do for a minute, though, like I said earlier, they got to make you comfortable. They got to lower the prices of gas. They got to lower the prices of food because they don't want to let you know that it's all about to fall down on top of you. It's all about to fall down on top of you because when they really have to raise the real prices to what things actually cost because they have started taxing you with all their tariffs and all, you're going to revolt, right? But you don't have to revolt in America. You know why? Because you change your doggone leader every 4 years. See, I'm got to revolt. Every 4 years, we're just going to put another guy in here. And he's going to do the opposite. He's going to jack up all the deals that were made and start the whole cycle all over again. Ah, my goodness. Communism. I don't know where I want to be, though. I just want to be on the good side of capitalism, I want to be on the side of capitalism that actually works for me. But in the end, I know the commies win. The commies win, baby. Really, on the global scale, commies with technology who can feed themselves, make sure that their people are happy, and never get them to be greedy. They're never greedy. They never learn to want more. They win. What do you got to say? You're so right. I'm guilty of being a consumer. My eyes are bigger than my wallet. Listen, brother. You're part of us. You're part of the matrix. You're part of the matrix. You think you can wake up and tell America sit down here and eat porridge with no sugar and no grits with no. Y'all eat grits with no sugar. I don't. That's some slave diet. I gotta put sugar in my stuff. But you can't just tell them to sit down there and just eat sludge. No, we're greedy. All the people in your life walking around like this because they put white veneers on their teeth. Perfectly good teeth. Because they want whiter teeth. Nothing is wrong with your teeth, sir. They flew to Turkey to put veneers on their teeth so they can get like, we're out of our doggone mind. They're flying down to where are they going to? Colombia and the Dominican Republic to telling a doctor, rip my body apart and give me a new one. They're getting loans. You're getting a rip your body apart loan. Yeah, it's a BBL. Rip your body apart loan. So you could come out with a big behind and come on, we doing a lot. And then when you're, you know, if you can't do all that, you don't want to do all that, you just go tell a guy, listen, come over here and scribble on me. Just write a whole bunch of stuff on me. Keep writing until I stop paying you. How much was your tattoo? Oh, it only cost me $1,500. Oh, really? That's so cheap. For your sleeve? Yeah, it cost me $1,500. Everybody's got one now. We are ridiculous. Right? Look at the concept of lease. Why do we lease cars? Why do you rent a car for 3 years? Because you want the nicest thing. You want to drive around the nicest thing. You're renting a car. And then they say, okay, you want to buy it back? And they give you an astronomical price to buy back an old car that you've been driving. And you're like, no, I don't want to do that. Of course you don't. Here you go. Here goes another one. It's better than the last one. Really? Yeah. How much is it? A couple $100 more than you're paying before. Sold. We're ridiculous. We're making no sense. We don't make any sense whatsoever. None. We don't make no sense. And again, then they went through Temu at us. Temu. Everything I've ever wanted for $25. How can I say no? But after I get to my Temu checkout account, $379. What the hell did I buy? You bought everything you've ever wanted for $25. 14 times. Yeah. And where's that stuff coming from? China. Baby, we're stuck. You're stuck in the matrix and you can't get out. And the Chinese keep on winning. They keep on winning. Trump, I don't know what you're talking about. I honestly don't know. You got people running around talking about, oh, I will never buy a Samsung. Oh, I will never buy an affordable smartphone that does every single thing that an iPhone does for a quarter of the price. I'll never do that. Okay. Sure. No problem. And the Chinese are walking around with iPhones that they got for $50 with more technology than yours. Anyway, this is Del K. Brereton. This is the real spiel. Take it or leave it. Communism wins. We'll talk soon. Jackie, before we go, Jackie Hockenberry says, or have you ever seen China or Russia or go sit in a bread line? Jackie, have you ever been to the Caribbean? Have you ever been to Nicaragua? Huh? Have you ever seen people in North America who have to go to food banks because they don't have enough food? In shelters because they don't have enough food? That goes on. First world, second world, and third world, Jackie. All right? Don't believe the hype. Don't believe the UNICEF commercials that have Africans with flies on their mouths and their bellies are extended. Have you ever been to Africa? You ever been to Ghana and see that Ghana's a first world country? That you've been sending money to Malawi and the Malawians are laughing at you? Don't get it twisted. There's poor people everywhere. There's poor people on your street where you live. Broke, poor people. You drive by them on the highway and put your window up. There's poor people everywhere. But China has made being working class okay. And it's okay for you too. But your working class threshold is just higher than theirs. But you have to pay more for your livelihood. You have no security. You have none. They have all the security in the world. Communism wins. Okay? Because at least they can stand in a breadline. Some of y'all, you need manna to fall from heaven if you run out of bread. Love y'all. It's Del K. Brereton. This is The Real Spiel. We'll talk soon. Bye-bye.